We found out we were pregnant with Zach in May. It was right after Lucas's birthday.
Lucas is your oldest
And Lucas is our oldest son. He's 2.
Now 2 years old.
When we first found out that we were pregnant, it was a lot hard. Ronnie was very excited. I was a little nervous because I was afraid they were going to be too close together. Overall, though, I had a very healthy pregnancy. My water broke January 15th at 4:30 in the morning. We went down to Meadville. That's where I delivered Zach. He was born at 8:30 in the morning. And after, we kind of figured something was going wrong I had a C-section during the C-section because everybody got really quiet and came towards me, and I knew that something was wrong. And after I was all done having my C-section, the doctor that delivered me asked me if I believed in miracles, and I said, yes, I do. And he said that Zach's umbilical cord was wrapped twice around his neck, strangling him, and that's not why I went into labor. If I would have went full term, he probably wouldn't be here.
He was breathing okay, everything was going good, and then the next day they did some tests and some x-rays and some other tests, and they kind of said, well, it looks like there's some more complications and whatnot. So that night, it was Sunday night, he pretty much, I don't want to say gave up, but he's starting to have a real hard time. And then that was the next day when I met Ryan with Grady's Decision, and he kind of gave me a heads up. He listened to my story and what was going on, and he explained that he had his daughter and son in there kind of doing the same thing, and he explained his story. So right away I kind of knew that he knew what I was going through.
I can't thank Grady's Decision enough because you were there when I couldn't be to support him, and we had a great support group, but nobody really knew the extent of how sick he was.
Yeah.
So I met Ryan. They decided to take Zach off the vent. It was, I think he was about almost 2 weeks old, I think, or about a week and a half. They decided to take him off the vent. And he had a really rough day. We watched him all day, struggling to breathe. And they wanted to wait to see if he would just bounce back before they put him back on the vent. And that's where I was about at my breaking point. Dr. Balzan came in and said that, we had a visitor. And I've talked to Ryan on the phone, but I've never met him. And I walk out and I saw him standing there, and it was like, I call it, at that moment, that was my gift from God. I saw him standing there, and I knew exactly who he was. So wonderful and so compassionate, and just helped us tremendously. Not only emotionally and spiritually, but also helping with the parking passes and like simple things, so we wouldn't have to worry about how are we going to pay for parking for 6 weeks. He was 3 weeks old, and they were actually thinking of sending us home with Zach home on a feeding tube. He wasn't eating. They were going to send him home on a feeding tube. He was still breathing really fast. And the nurse practitioner said she wanted to do one more echo on him. Ryan sat with us that day while we were waiting for the transfer team to come pick us up to go down to Children's, and was just, I guess, it was there as a support to help us through everything, because it was very overwhelming to us, because in our mind we were thinking we were going home. And after that, he started eating from the bottle. I mean, he was doing pretty good. And we came home on February 16th. We came home, so we were in the hospital overall for a little over 6 weeks. Grady's Decision helped pay for the Ronald McDonald House while we were down there, and the hotel until we got into the Ronald McDonald House. They helped us with giving gas cards to my sister so that she could bring my son down to see us, because unfortunately our oldest son we didn't get to spend a lot of time with through this whole thing because we were with Zach. They basically helped us get peace of mind so we didn't have to worry about all of the other things that we shouldn't be worrying about, so we could focus all of our attention on Zach.
The little things like a gas cards or the parking pass, because you know it adds up. You're there for a week and it's $10 or $20 a day. You know, you start thinking about it, it adds up. You're there all day, and you know, it's just a huge relief. And we don't have to worry about that aspect that, you know, some other people in different areas may be going through, and we're very fortunate and grateful for not having to handle that. It's just families at Grady Decison that they help are very, very grateful for it, and it's a big thing. And I'd really like to say thank you. I mean, we could not have done it without you guys, and I can only imagine the other families out there in similar or worse situations, and you know, without that help.
I would like to say thank you to everyone that has donated their time and their money, because these days money's not so easy to give anymore, because without them donating to you, you wouldn't have been able to help us, and without you helping us, we never would have been able to do it. It would have been a lot harder than what it was.
Mm-hmm.